Okay.
Hagfish. Great song. 18 Days. It's like a minute and a half long. It's just Zach and George.
Yep. Fish Boys, the onomatopoeia.
Hilarious.
Daryl.
Like lightning round. Daryl, best version of Was Not My Function ever, and I think it's the best thing they ever recorded. And when we recorded that, we fit like 7 people inside this very small production room, and we were all basically sitting on top of each other. And Dylan was leaning against me, and I was trying to mix this record like this, and it was hot and sweaty in that room that day, and it came out beautifully.
Fred Savage.
I gave Sarah that guitar that she plays on this song. And I remember I met Sarah long before she and I dated or knew each other or anything. I met her when she sent me the Lucy Love Schroeder 7-inch for 7-inch Jellyfish. And I thought it was great. And I wanted to play it, and I played it all the time. And then I remember when she was doing the demos for that first Fred Savage record, I was just all over. I still absolutely love it. I remember when she was writing one song, we were sitting in her living room and she was writing this one song, and I was like, oh, that's going to be the biggest hit ever. And then she tried to teach me how to play guitar one time, and it didn't work because I have no talent for that. But I think it's a great song.
Absolute epic Dallas band, Funland.
Kevin recorded that with me. He did most of the recording on it, and it was it's still one of my favorite Funland songs, one of my favorite Dallas bands of all time. Peter played at my wedding. Peter is fantastic, and Will from Funland is also on the record. Yep. Somebody was talking about Clark earlier as well. Rhett was talking about Clark earlier from Funland. So it's a great version of Head and Hands on Floor, one that we played all the time on the Adventure Club.
One of my personal faves, Ben Queller.
One of the nicest guys in the world. I hadn't talked to him in years before I needed him to be on this, and it was great. I got him on the phone and, hey, Josh. It's just right back to being Queller, who's just a sweetheart of a person.
So before you move on, I waited. So do you remember Josh Cooperman?
Do I remember who?
Josh Cooperman, one of our old sales guys. At the end,
don't.
He wanted me to tell you hi, and he remembers us going down in Greenville for a Ben Queller and Radish meet and greet. So
I do remember that. Yes, yeah. I do. I remember that Radish meet and greet. Yeah. All right, who's after Queller?
Side B kicks off with Pleasant Grove.
Another fantastic song. They only did, I think, 1 or 2 sessions, and this was easily one of my favorites. That's really funny, Rob Baca. The girls' version of the next record should be called Artifacts of Life. That's why you and I are friends, Rob Baca. I like that. Very clever. Very clever.
After Pleasant Grove is The Happy Bullets, if you remind.
It's one of those songs that it's just so twee and so cute. You want to put it in your pocket and feed it sugar cubes throughout the day. It's like the most adorable thing ever. I love that record.
Sad Song is next by Smile Smile.
We talked that into the ground. We don't need to talk about it anymore.
And then Big Brown Eyes by Old 97s.
Same thing.
And then 15 Minutes to Rock by Chomsky.
Great version. Fantastic. Weirdly enough, Chomsky only did 2 or 3 sessions in all those years. Glenn later went on to be in a band with me. Matt did as well for a little while. They were in my Smith & Morrissey tribute band, or I was in their Smith & Morrissey tribute band. And yeah, it's a great session. They did a Depeche Mode cover that day as well. A Policy of Truth. That was really fun.
Taylor Reed's Top 3 is next.
I already talked about it a lot. Beautiful song, heartbreaking. That's one of those that a lot of people say, is a huge memory that they have of the show.
And then kicking off side C is 41 Gorgeous Blocks, Stutter.
They were the pop punk band du jour back then, and I could always rely on them to do whatever I wanted them to do and needed them to do. They played a million shows for me. They should have been so much bigger. Fantastic artwork on their records, and one of those guys went on to, or maybe 2 of those guys went on to make a movie about Descendants, which if you haven't seen is called Filmage. And if you like pop punk music or punk music in general, or just good music in general, you should watch it. And I think it's available on Amazon. It's wonderful.
Black Tie Dynasty, Tender.
That was a song that actually got played on The Edge. It was one of the very few songs that made the jump from the Adventure Club ranks into the big leagues, and is a really well done song. And it's funny, I don't remember recording that session at all. There's 3 or 4 of these that it was a Sunday afternoon, and I go, oh yeah, I have that. What happened with that? I don't remember. And so, but I mean, it came out great, so I must have recorded it at some point in my life. I just don't really remember, but it's a great version. I really like that version.
Next up is, I'm pretty sure at this time they were called Mos Eisley. Went on to be Eisley. Telescope Eyes.
Yeah, I mean, the girls were all sick that day. And I remember when they came in, their dad, Boyd, the Eisley girls' dad, would send me CDRs long before they had put out any records. And it was, we've heard of your show and we really hope that you like our music. And it was these very, rudimentary CDRs that were essentially kind of like demo versions of some of that earliest Eisley stuff, where if you look at the Eisley part of my collection, I mean, it's this big and it's that much of it is CDRs, in handwritten CDRs going, we made a new song. Hope you dig it. And it was like the minute that they finished something, they sent it off in the mail right away from Tyler. But when the girls came in that day to record that session, I do remember it was a Sunday afternoon and they were all sick. And it was just like a bunch of miserable people in this room. And the minute the mics went on, it became fantastic. And I love that version of Telescope Eyes. Yeah.
Great song. Next is Eniac. Obviously, we already talked about Skeleton Crew.
Fantastic song. The Paper Chase were... every time they came in, I never felt like I did them justice on the air, because Congleton, the singer and guitar player for Paper Chase, is a Grammy Award winning producer.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you have me going, I'm going to move this fader up. And it's just like, it's somebody that I should have just left the room and let him record it and say it was an Adventure Club thing, because he's a real producer. And so, but I really like the way that these Paper Chase things sound, because they sound so opposite of the really heavy production and really just heavy, spooky type sounds on the real records. And this sounds very sparse and very like scary almost in the sparseness of it, if that makes any sense.
All right. Side D kicks off with a really cool song, Sparrows. All my dreams come true.
Yeah, that's a sad story.
Yep.
Carter, who was the singer for Sparrows, passed away a few years ago in a really bizarre accident. And that time that we recorded that session was the last time that I saw Carter before he died. And the time before that I will always remember, my one story that I will always remember about Carter is he and I were at the Barley House, in the older location of the Barley House, and we shut that place down. And I don't remember what we were talking about. And Richard just let us stay for a really long time. And it was, 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the morning before we left. And by the end of it, you would have thought that we were the best of friends and had always been best friends. And we recorded that Sparrow session on the same day that we did a Sorta session. And I was racing to get on the air. And I used to record a lot of the sessions on a Sunday afternoon. And it was like 5 minutes to 7. And I'm going, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And we're just blazing through these songs. And you can hear at the beginning of the Sparrows one that there's a false take on the beginning, because I think I was rushing them so much that they were screwing up. And so then it was like take 47, and they were like, let's just get it done. You have to go on the air. We have to go home. We've been here for 2 hours with the Sorta guys. Let's just be done with this. I don't want to be here anymore. And what came out was beautiful. I mean, it's a great song. All right. What's after Sparrows?
Radiant.
That's a band that when Zach and I were talking earlier about bands that should have been bigger in Dallas, they should have been bigger in Dallas. That's a fantastic song. Yeah, a great song. They played one of the Adventure Club birthday parties. Almost all these bands played an Adventure Club birthday party.
Another Dallas fixture, Poppins.
Yeah, weird. The first interview I ever did, I had a fanzine in high school called The Wonderful World of Appliances. My other best friend, Adam, and I, other than Zach, but he and Zach and I are all kind of best friends. So Adam and I had a fanzine in high school called The Wonderful World of Appliances, and we interviewed Bruce from Poppins when we were, I think Adam was a sophomore and I was a junior, and we interviewed him at the Irving Hooters by Irving Mall. I don't know why we did it there, because I'm not a fan of Hooters, and I don't know why. But when Bruce came in, he was hyping a new solo record or something, and I asked him to play that Poppin' song because I always liked it. It was something that I had heard on the Edge way, way, way back when, before I ever got into radio.
Yeah. Rocket Summer, obviously, Teenage Love Rock.
Right.
And then the last two, Slobber Bone, another just early Dallas band.
Great version, too, of Lumberlung, one of my favorite Slobber Bone songs. And so when I called Brent and asked him if it was cool if I used this, he was like, yeah, of course, whatever you want. Wait, who is this? And I said, it's Josh Venable. And he's like, oh, hey, sure, whatever you want. And I was like, all right, great. So, yeah, it was great. And then the last song is Will Johnson, who wanted to be on the call tonight, and he had something that he couldn't get out of. And this version of the Rerun Pills is one of the most important things on this record to me, top 2 or 3. And as far as favorite sessions, Will came in and did 4 songs one afternoon. And this is one that I always remember. I think it's absolutely perfect in every way. So that's all 24 of the songs, and the record is beautiful. I hope that you will buy it. I hope that we can make a ton of money for charity. All the money is going to go to St. Jude's, and thank you to all the bands who let me do this over the years, because obviously without them, I wouldn't have had a job, and I would have had to have a real job, and nobody wants that. So DFWLegacySeries.com is where you can go and get all this stuff, and I'm